Joining us now, we look at our Wesley Disability Employment work and some of the training work that Elizabeth Beleski has responsibility for. Welcome, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
When we think of employment training, we often focus upon skills of finding a job, but there's much more to it than that, isn't there?
Yeah, look, there is. I guess in relation to finding a job, I think if anyone is wanting to upskill their area and how they sort of, I guess, to support them in trying to get that work, yeah, training is always really beneficial and important, regardless of where they are on that journey.
How is our work with disability employment different?
Disability employment, I guess, is unique. In looking at each individual person, having a look at what their abilities are and what their skills are, and being able to sort of work with that to try to sort of progress them into employment is important. You have to sort of look at that individual, I guess, need and what they're wanting to achieve. I guess, yeah.
So there are two aspects then of it. There's training what I would call able-bodied people, family, friends, and to work in that space. And there's also trying to enable people who do have a disability to maintain some kind of employment.
Yes, definitely. So when we sort of look at people with disabilities and trying to sort of progress them into getting employment or into those life skills, there's a whole lot of areas. You know, you sort of look at life skills firstly and what can we support them with, but then looking at, what other opportunities are available for them to be able to progress in their journey. So, there might be some horticulture training if they're looking for gardening or looking at landscaping type of work, hospitality training, community services, general training. So trying to sort of support them in what they want, like any able-bodied person.
What do you get most out of the work that you do when you're involved in training? Yeah,
look, I think for me it's... I am a Christian. I am someone that wants to be able to help everyone and support people, and I guess being part of Wesley Mission, we do all the good for everyone and every single person as they come into our lives. I think for me, whether they do have a disability, whether they are an able-bodied person, whether they're wanting to get into disability services, however we can support them on their pathway is really important to me and something that I sort of
and I think I want to say that it is one of the most challenging areas, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want anybody to think that this is easy stuff, because when you're working with some of those challenges, it can be hard, can't it?
Yeah, look, definitely. I think challenges for anyone is difficult, but when you are sort of going through a disability, obviously, what is perceived, for everyone else, I guess for everyone else looking at this person, it's probably not, there's only so many limitations, but for them, they want to progress. They want to sort of get better at what they're doing. And I guess the work that we do at Wesley Training, we sort of incorporate a whole lot of different areas, and try to support this individual person in their pathway. Whether it be, like I sort of said, whether it be, part of supporting them with their finances. We do financial literacy training. Whether it be chaplaincy and pastoral care. Whether it be specific areas like that, or whether it is just to support them in their journey.
And it must be very special when you come to graduation if you've got somebody who was perhaps a bit reluctant. To do it, and then they do it. Yeah,
look, I think within Wesley Training, we get a range of different people coming in to sit in one of our courses, and more often than not, they do. They're there because they want to progress in their life. We do get refugees. Sometimes we get people that are disadvantaged and unemployed, looking for work, and they're reluctant to come in and do training because they probably, as far as they're concerned, have failed at some point in their life in relation to doing that, or have never had the opportunities maybe to do any training. So they come in, we try to sort of progress them in the training and try to sort of keep them on track, I guess, and follow through with to completion. We do have a program called the Workforce Development Program, which gives them a pathway. In addition to the training, it is giving them some work and practical experience and support them in employment. So.
And certainly with disability, things are changing remarkably. The whole landscape
That's right.
is changing.
Yeah.
If somebody was thinking of working in or giving some time to work alongside people with a disability and they were reluctant, just in a sentence, what would you say to that person?
They can do it. They can do it as long as they have that passion, as long as they want to be there for people and want to support people. They can do it. I think you just need to have that right attitude and want and need to help people.
What if somebody is living with a disability or seeking to help somebody with a disability as a lived experience? What advice would you give them?
Yeah, well, look, I think anyone wanting to get into disability services, whether they have a disability or just wanting to support people in that area, they can do it. There's opportunities there to be able to do whatever you want, whatever position you are in. And I think just go out there and find it. Go out there and find it. Push yourself through. There are training products. There are different support services available to be able to, support you in that pathway to get there.
Thank you for your time, Elizabeth, today. People with disability are not recipients of services. Sometimes they can do things themselves, and that's wonderful.